In this video, I'm going to show you 10 hacks in the Uber app that you probably didn't know. Number one, address shortcuts. So if I go to account, and then I go down here to settings, then right here I have shortcuts, manage save locations. So I can adjust my home and my work, very typical when it comes to the Uber app, but I can also add other saved places. This makes it easier, like say if you don't want to type in the address every single time or something like that, like say it's a friend's place, a place that you go to a lot, I can click add saved place, and then when I do, you can see right here that I have a bunch of different options of like say my most common places that I go to, but also I can enter in an address and put a given name for it. So now when I go to order, like say when I go to where to, I can scroll to the left right there, then click save places, and I have all my saved places that I put. Like say I want to go to Grain Whiskey Bar, great bar here in LA, I'm just going to click Grain, and boom, all set to go. Number two, Uber hourly. Now I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I consider this a hack as more of a feature that a lot of people don't know about, and this can be great, especially when visiting a new area. If I go to all suggestions, I have all these different services, I'm going to go and click hourly right here. Now this is the way it works. As you can see, keep a car and driver with you for hours, ideal for business meetings, tourist travel, and multiple stop trips, reserve in advance. So let's say I want somebody for 2 hours. Think of it pretty much like your private chauffeur. And as opposed to, let's say, Ubering to one spot, then another spot, then another spot, you almost rent the driver and the car in a sense for 2 hours. So you can see down here, it'd be about $110 for 2 hours, basically $55 an hour. And I know at first that seems like a lot, like, wow, $55 an hour or $110 for 2 hours. But let's say you're here in LA. Let's say I'm going to go to the Griffith Observatory, very touristy spot, then the Walk of Fame, then hit In-N-Out, then go to, I don't know, Santa Monica Pier. Like, say I'm going to be bounced around LA. It's going to be way cheaper for you to just rent somebody, in this case, doing Uber hourly, just pay $110 for 2 hours, as opposed to Ubering to one spot, then another spot, then another spot. This is a great feature to have a driver, let's say, especially if you're consuming alcohol and you can't drive, you want to be safe and responsible. This is an excellent feature for that. Number three, the 4 safety features. So I'm going to go down here to account, and then I'm going to go down here to settings, and then all the way down here, I have safety preferences. Now, when I click this, there are mainly 4 different safety features that Uber has. I'm going to go through each one of these kind of quick. Obviously, each one of these could be its own in-depth video, but as you can see, first off is a safety check-in. What this does is it checks in on you if your ride goes off course or ends early. So let's say you're driving, it's pretty much a straight shot. But let's say the driver starts going way off course, it will actually say like, hey, are you okay? As you can see here, if we detect that your ride goes off course, stops unexpectedly, or ends early, we can message you sooner to make sure you're okay. Excellent safety feature. Next one, PIN verification. Of course, when Uber pulls up, you want to make sure, is it the right make, model, license plate? You want to double check you're in the right Uber. What this does though, is you can use a PIN to help make sure you get into the right car. Because what happens is, as you can see here, you get a unique code for each ride. And your driver has to enter in the matching PIN at pickup before they can start the trip. So let's say you get in the car, the driver has to type in that PIN code in order to start the trip. They cannot do so unless they type in the right PIN. In addition, we have record audio. You can send us a recording if you report a safety issue. This is kind of important. You have to enable your microphone, as I just did. You can record audio during your ride and send us a recording if something goes wrong. Here's the main thing though. Recordings are locked and no one, not you, your driver, or Uber can access them. Our support team can only listen to a recording if you want to add it to a safety report. The recording itself is encrypted and no one can listen to it. Not you, Uber, nobody, unless it's an issue. Like they said here, say you have a safety report, like say something happens in an Uber, you can say, hey, here's recording now you can listen to it. And then lastly, share trip status. Very similar to like say, find my iPhone or find my friends on the iPhone, for example. You can share your live location and trip details with friends or family. I may have to adjust some of these settings on my phone to access the contacts and like say, put the specific people in place that I want to have following my location. But you can easily do that for amazing safety features. Number 4, the safety feature schedule. So when I scroll down, I now have a schedule right here. Now you have 3 different options. The first one is no rides, only turn on manually. So you only turn on these safety features manually when you want to. The second, I'm gonna jump to the top, is all rides. Every single time you take a ride, like say I have the PIN notification, every single time I take a ride, they have to enter in that PIN. Now the third option you have is some ride types. You can see here, I have late night between 9 p.m., 5 a.m. in general, regardless of the night. Then I have bar and restaurant within 50 meters. And then lastly, weekends, Friday through Sunday. Because let's say in the morning, you're like, hey, you know what? I don't need to verify the PIN in the morning. I'm just going to work, no big deal. But let's say on a Friday and Saturday night, let's say you're way more worried about your safety, especially let's say if you're inebriated, you've been drinking, you're under the influence, you might want to turn, let's say, the PIN verification on, maybe all these if you want to be super safe, right? Never a bad idea to be more safe, right? And then I can enable all of these. And then once I do, okay, on the weekends, have them all on, or let's say all rides. However you want to do it, you can kind of mix and match. Let's say, I'm only wanting to record the audio, for example, on the weekend rides. So I do this. Might as well do late night too. Like say I have a thirsty Thursday, so to speak, right? I can confirm and I'm good to go. Number 5, taxis. Now I have to explain how this works. Okay, I'm gonna go to account, then go down to settings. Then down here at the bottom, I have taxis. Include taxis when requesting a trip. I have to stress this point. It's kind of hard to explain. You're not ordering a taxi as you think of it. I have to stress that. You're not ordering a taxi like you typically would. What happens is a taxi can show up and everything is the exact same as if you're getting an Uber, as opposed to, let's say, being a Honda Civic or a Prius, you have a taxi. This sounds a bit odd, but a lot of taxi drivers actually drive for Uber. So I have this feature right here. You can see when you book a ride, allow a taxi to pick you up. I can turn this off or on. I have this turned on. And you can see here, things to know, see the price up front, like a normal Uber. Pay and tip in the Uber app. Again, just like Uber. You're going to ride with a licensed taxi driver, get a similar class of vehicle. Screenings and features may vary. In general, it's going to be the same thing as a normal Uber ride, but the vehicle you're going to get in is a taxi. Now, you may be wondering, like, okay, why would I turn this on? Like, what's the advantage of this taxi setting? The biggest thing is that, let's say there's so much commotion going on. There's a lot of traffic happening in your area, and it's tough to find an Uber. Like, say a taxi's right around the block, it will pick the taxi over all other Uber drivers. This actually happened to me, one of my friends. We were going to a concert, seeing Fred again, an electronic artist. It was crazy at that time. Like, it was very, very high peak in terms of getting an Uber. And the app said, hey, all the Ubers in your area are super busy. The closest one is like a 10-minute ride away, but there's a taxi right around the block. We're sending you a taxi instead. So we got an Uber, even though it sounds a bit kind of almost like a paradox. We got an Uber that's actually a taxi operating as Uber, right? But we got one way faster and got to the concert a lot faster. So I do suggest turning this on. Number 6, dark mode. This changes the visual layout and look of the app. I don't know why, but a lot of people are obsessed with dark mode. I don't know what it is. Like for me, I have it on light mode, as you can see. But I go to account, then I go down here to settings. Then right here, I'm gonna click appearance. Then I have light mode, dark mode, or use device settings will follow your device display theme. So if I have it on light mode, same thing. But dark mode, boom. Once I do this and click save, this is now how it looks. Now I have to be honest, does this change anything about the way the app operates? No, it is just a visual thing where it's more in dark mode than light mode. Number 7, Marriott Rewards. This is a way for you to get points and basically free stuff with ordering Ubers, which you're ordering anyway. This is, like I said, 100% free. I'm gonna go to account, then I'm gonna go down here to settings, then go all the way down. I'm gonna turn off dark mode, by the way, as I'm doing this. All right. Put light mode back on, just make it a bit more congruent with the rest of the video. Go all the way down here to the bottom, you can see rewards. Marriott Bonvoy, earn points on rides and food. So any single time I'm using Uber or Uber Eats, what I can do is I can link my account. You can see here that I'll get points in return for getting Ubers and Uber Eats. Like I said, this is 100% free. In addition, signing up with Marriott Bonvoy is also free. So the way I look at it is, even if, let's say, I'm not the biggest Marriott fan or member or whatever, might as well get free points and free perks on top of ordering the Ubers and Uber Eats, which I'm going to order anyway. Number 8, adding a stop. This one is pretty common, but I did want to feature it just because you never know. Some people know about this feature, some people don't. Let's say I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to click where to, right? And when I do, you can see on the right-hand side of the address, I have a plus. Now, when I click this, I can now add a multiple stop type ride. So let's say I want to go to the bar. That's my ultimate destination. Let's say I'm going out. But let's say I want to pick up my friend Tom along the way. What I could do is add a stop in the middle. So going to Tom's place and then go to the final destination. I will say this too. This is usually typically cheaper by adding a stop, as opposed to, let's say, if I took an Uber to Tom's, we hung out, then we took a separate Uber to the bar, this would actually be cheaper to go to Tom's and then the bar in the same exact ride. Number 9, setting a preferred currency. This is a big one that's also gotten a lot of attention, especially recently, which I'll talk about why in a second. I'm gonna go to account, then up at the top, I'm gonna click wallet. Once I do, I'm gonna scroll down, and then right there, I can see set preferred currency. Now, here's the way this works. As you can see, pay in preferred currency. Let's say I'm traveling. Let's say I'm in Europe and I have United States dollars on. What this means is I will always pay in USD for applicable rides. There are pros and cons to this because I can select another option or no preferred currency. Always pay in the local currency of your ride. So let's say if I'm in Europe, I'm always going to pay in euros, for example. Here is the catch with this, which is both good and bad. If I look at the fine print down at the bottom, there's going to be a 1.5% conversion fee added to your trip fare. So let's say let's say I'm in Europe and I'm taking a $100 Uber ride, for example, they're going to tack on an extra $1.50. Not that much because they're converting it or auto-converting it to USD. There are pros and cons to this. On one end, yeah, they're charging you a little extra money. In my opinion, 1.5% is so little, no big deal. On the other end, though, even though they are charging you 1.5%, let's say you have a credit card that charges you, let's say, foreign transaction fees, but let's say you're paying in euros or the preferred currency of that local area, you might actually pay more than 1.5%. And I do want to mention this because there have been some articles saying, oh, Uber's charging you more for, let's say, traveling, all this kind of stuff. That's not fully true because yes, well, they are charging, let's say, a 1.5% conversion fee to convert from the local currency to USD, for example. One, in my mind, that is going to save you more money overall in case, let's say, your credit card does charge you foreign transaction fees. But two, it is kind of nice to know exactly how much money you're spending per ride. Like when I was in Mexico, I remember I had to convert one currency to the other. And it was kind of annoying because I was like, shoot, is this ride even worth it? Should I just take the bus instead? Should I take the subway, right? So I will say this, that although, yeah, they are charging you a little bit, I like to have this right on always paying USD. Easier on my credit card. I know exactly how much money I'm paying. And also, two, I don't have to do that kind of conversion math in my head. Like, okay, it's this much in euros, but is that actually that expensive? Is it not? I have everything in USD. Number 10, Venmo. So in case you didn't know, you can actually pay for your Uber rides with Venmo. And I know Venmo right now is incredibly popular. All I'm going to do is go to account, then go to wallet. Then down here at the bottom, I have payment methods. And you can see I have add payment method. I'm going to click this. And then once I do, I have a few different options. Gift card, Venmo, PayPal, etc. All I'm going to do is click Venmo. It's going to sign me up. And I'm good to go. And now a bonus hack on the Uber app that you probably didn't know is reserve matching. This one is automatically turned on, but I do want to mention it just in case it's not. Now, if I go to account, then I go down to settings, I'm gonna go all the way down and you can see under ride preferences, I've reserved. Choose how you're matched with drivers when you book ahead. So let's say I'm booking ahead. I have this auto turned on and I'm pretty sure they also auto turn this on for other people, but you can see here that auto match. Match with a new driver if yours will be late due to slow progress. I do suggest, let's say you do look at this and this is like this, turn it on. Because all this means, let's say if I book a ride in advance, and as it says here, let's say my designated driver that was gonna pick me up is just taking forever. But they notice, actually, there's a driver right down the block. What this does is will auto match with the person who's right down the block, so we'll get a ride quicker.